Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to Apolla's Odyssey. I'm finally back in the studio after all my travels again. I know I say this like every 2 weeks, but trying to stay rooted for a while because I am actually starting 2 new radio networks. I just got picked up by KGRA and Aftermath. And it looks like with Aftermath, I'm going to be changing my Thursday show day to Wednesday because with them I need to be on Wednesdays, and that will be simulcasted to YouTube. So make sure you download the Aftermath app and get on KGRA, and I'll give you guys some links pretty soon here. I'll have a promo code, so if you don't already have those radio networks, I will have a promo code so that you can download those networks pretty soon here with both of them. So I'm waiting to figure that out. But my shows will still be at the usual time, 5 p.m. Pacific. But like I said, instead of Thursday, I'm doing Wednesdays now. And my Tuesday shows are going to be going on for exactly 2 hours every time. But that's only on KGRA. So it won't be streamed to YouTube. And my Wednesday shows I'm going to be doing are going to be for exactly an hour each time. So I'm still waiting for Doc here. I'm not really sure where he is. I guess I'm going to go on for about 5 minutes, and if he doesn't come on, then I'm going to call him and be like, yo, where you at? So if you guys don't know who Doc Skinner is, he is actually the founder of DisclosureCon. Me and him have been friends for a few years now, I believe. And he is also my fellow Thirdphaseofmoon panelist friend. And yeah, so also he's been in the entertainment industry in Hollywood for a long time before moving to Arizona because he wanted to get away from LA like many other people. So yeah, I'm just waiting for him. If he doesn't come on here, so there's this whole thing with like the Arizona, LA, California time zone. Apparently, like Arizona, there are a bunch of weirdos there. They do this thing where, like, I guess, like half the year they're in the same time zone as where I'm at in California, and then the other half of the year they're not. So I told Doc 5 p.m. Pacific, or I told him 5 p.m. So maybe it's that time of the year where it's not actually the right time zone. Sorry, I think my lights are a little bit too bright here. Just need to turn this down. Oh, there we go. That's better. But yeah, so I'm just waiting for him. But in the meantime, how's it going, you guys? It's good to be back. I just got back from doing camp disclosure, which, man, that was a lot of fun. It was a very transformational experience for me. It was like the first couple of days I felt kind of weird because I didn't really know anyone there. Like I kind of knew some people, but not really. And I was kind of like a little weirded out at first because I'm like, oh, and like my presentation was at an early time and I was just kind of not sure about everything, but I ended up connecting really well with some amazing people, actually some really amazing women there. A lot of these conferences, I'm usually in this like bro gang. In this particular conference, it was all just mostly like really incredible chicks, and I really connected with them all. So I had an amazing time, and we'll definitely be doing shows with them soon. So yeah, with KGRA and Aftermath, I know I haven't really been doing many interviews lately. That's gonna be something that's gonna be ramping up again soon here. So, just with traveling, it's like I never really know what's gonna happen. I might end up, not being able to go on, and I just want to make sure that if I invite someone on, I can for sure go on. But once I start these radio shows, I'm gonna be very, very consistent with everything. I mean, I pretty much have been already. Sometimes, I think I took a 1 week break when I was at Mount Shasta. But that's because it was just it was like a very kind of spiritual retreat. And I really just wanted time to unplug and connect to myself, So it's good to see everyone in the chat. It's good to be back in the studio. And, like I said, if you're just tuning in now, I just got picked up by 2 radio networks. So I will be doing my shows on Tuesdays and Thursdays from now on. I'm also starting to do a lot with editing my own shows. So I'm not really sure how great of an editor I am, but I'm working on it. I think I'm starting to figure it out. And I want to start kind of like editing some cool episodes. That's something I'm working on right now. So, because I'm kind of more, my show's going to be kind of more like a radio version. I'm also going to be doing some edited stuff to throw on here. Because KGRA, I won't be able to stream that to here, unfortunately, which means that you guys are going to have to get on KGRA and start listening on there, right? So I think Doc did not get the memo. Or maybe he's confused. So I'm going to call him. And sorry, hang tight, you guys. I think it's that time of the year where Arizona is in that other time zone. I don't know why they do that. He told me this before. It's like half the year it's in this one time zone and half the year it's in another. So I'm sorry. I did tell him 5. I didn't tell him 5 p.m. Pacific. I told him just 5. So yeah, let me just try calling him real quick and make sure. And by the way, I am going to be taking calls on my show once I start all that with KGRA. So that's going to be a lot of fun. So it's ringing. Pick up, Doc. So if you have any questions for me or whatever to keep this going, just comment in the chat. Yeah, I don't know. He's not answering. So we'll just keep it going for right now and see what happens. Yeah, sorry about that, you guys. I told him 5. So, I don't know. I don't know. But, so what do you guys feel about disclosure? So this show, I'm going to be doing it on the future of disclosure. What does that mean? And so some different things we can get into with that is how is that going to affect politics if disclosure ramps up? How is that going to affect politics? How is that going to affect, just the everyday like consciousness of people? Like how is that going to affect people's perception, how they see the world? And also I want to get into kind of the who's who in the disclosure movement, because there's been some amazing pioneers in this movement. And I'm not talking about just like everyday speakers like me and some other people in the community, but I'm talking about some of the people in the community that have been doing this for years and years, since the very beginning when they were being ridiculed. I mean, not like, people like me aren't being ridiculed right now, but, way back when, if you talked about UFOs, you were a crazy person. So we're going to talk about those kind of people. And yeah, so, while we're waiting for Doc here, if you want to support my show, please check out my art. And that is at shamanspears.com. I'm getting some things prepared for the whole radio section of this show, so I'm gonna get some more equipment for that. Really excited about getting all that together. So if you want to help support me, just please check out my art. I made a lot of sales at Camp Disclosure last weekend, so that was great. I have a few left, and then I'm going to be at Conscious Life Expo selling these in a couple weeks here. So, yeah, if you want some from the Odyssey collection, make sure you get that before they're gone. And I am starting a new collection at the moment, actually. I'm really stoked about that. I still have these Moon Maiden headdresses. And, like I said, I do like next day delivery on all orders, or I mean, next day shipping on all orders, especially right now because I am in town. These amazing Orgonite daggers. I mean, they're not really sharp. They're just shaped like daggers, but these are really sweet. Those are probably my favorite items I have right now. Pyramids. Yeah. So. If anyone's in Arizona right now, let me know what time it is for you guys right now. I'm curious. But, and so the I Believe in Humans t-shirts, make sure you check these out in the store. That is at shamanspirits.com. These are the first shirts that I have for my show because, I'm doing this thing with them. So this is actually made by a friend of mine who he does he's doing this new brand where every shirt he makes is 1 of 30. So it says 1 of 30 on the side. And this is the first shirt to help promote my show. So, they're one of a kind, definitely. And it says my YouTube channel logo on the back. So it's the first one for my show. So definitely check that out. So it looks like Arizona is the same time as California right now. It looks like Doc just ditched me. Wow, Doc. Thanks. Well, let's see here. Someone just said, what is with the low resolution? I kind of feel like I think I put a blur on my webcam, so that may be the problem, but also the Wi-Fi in the studio, I could not connect to it for some reason, so I had to do a hotspot from my phone. Or maybe it's just your internet. So it kind of looks fine here on my end. Thomas here says, are there any new whistleblowers from Hollywood? Not that I know of. I don't know if you guys saw, I actually put out an episode that was pre-recorded about my latest experiences in the entertainment industry. I didn't get into what production, but I wish I could tell you what production I'm talking about. But yeah, it's kind of interesting what I've been going through with that. So I made a video talking about that. So that's my message to Hollywood video. So make sure you go check that out. Marcus here says your resolution sucks. I'm so sorry. I could not connect to the internet today at the studio. I don't know why my business partner here owns the internet. So don't know what's going on with that. So sorry about that. I actually had to connect it to a hotspot, so the streaming is probably low, but it looks fine on my end. Bandon here says, I seen what looks like a double Tic Tac UFO the other day in north central Ohio, and it was white on both ends and black in the middle, almost as big as a commercial jet. Wow, that's amazing. There's a lot coming out lately in new UFO videos. I'm wondering if part of that has to do with our government testing new things, because I'm sure there's a lot coming out technologically. So that's interesting. Yeah, Adam here says, yes, I watched your excellent video, Apolla. You rock. You're courageous to speak up. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. It's just been really difficult because a lot of people tell me, I always feel like, especially over the past year or so, when, everything was really coming out politically and there's the separation with everything got worse and worse. And then all the other agendas started coming out in regards to the virus going on in the world. I was like, you know what? I don't know if I want to be a part of this industry anymore. It was just kind of bothering me. So, it just got a little weird. And, I wasn't sure if that's kind of why I started the YouTube show. Cause I'm like, you know what? Like, screw Hollywood, I'll just do my own thing. But, a lot of people are telling me, and I'm getting from like a lot of kind of, intuitive type people that it's really important that I stay in the entertainment industry. It's kind of like, my mission here on the planet. And, I think that has a lot to do with like my astrology chart. It says that my healing journey is something that's kind of broadcasted to everyone that sees it. So, it's kind of like I heal myself through entertainment or through performing, basically. And then it's like everyone sees that healing journey and it helps them. So I think that's really fascinating. And, I guess I got to do what I got to do. And, someone here needs to stay here in Hollywood that's kind of a part of what I'm a part of, because, it's kind of interesting where they're going with the industry. I mean, it's kind of disturbing, really, what's happening with the industry. I mean, I won't name productions, but I was in this one production a couple weeks ago where they took a certain movement that is going on politically and completely inverted it for this show. I mean, really made it a complete inversion of reality. And it was hard. It was hard for me to be on set and be in the middle of that and act like it didn't bother me, because it's like, okay, they're like obviously trying to brainwash people with these certain agendas. It's like every show I'm on now, I swear, every show I've been on, every set, it's like it's so obvious that they have these certain agendas and they're trying to push them through, these fiction kind of narratives. But it's so obvious, and it's like people are getting tired of it. People don't like it anymore. It's just getting old, honestly. I mean, have you guys seen any comedy shows that actually made you laugh recently? Because I haven't. So, it's how it is. And it's just getting really hard. It's getting hard to watch, But, I already ranted it on that. So if you want to go check out my Message to Hollywood episode, make sure you go do that. Yeah, is my live stream okay now? Let me know. Everyone's like, you're in a fog. I'm also wondering if there's something wrong with my webcam. So I'm sorry about that, you guys. Still waiting for Doc to get on here. How about when I'm backed up over here? I feel like it looks a little better when I'm over here for some reason. But, I didn't get any tabs or anything pulled up because, I thought me and Doc were going to be having a discussion. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I can't fix it. I don't know what's going on. It's either the Wi-Fi or something's wrong with my webcam. So I'm sorry about that. But, just pretend like I'm in a fog right now. It's okay. It'll be okay. All you have to do is listen to my voice. Sorry about that, you guys. Okay, well, you know what? Go ahead and comment whatever you feel about disclosure, like any kind of topics you want to talk about in regards to disclosure, and we'll go over that. So everyone's saying it's okay now. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Maybe if you guys are looking at it on smaller screens, that's what it looks fine. But when it's on bigger screens, it's not okay. Not really sure. I'm so sorry about that. But anyway. Okay, so let me see here. So in regards to politics, how is disclosure? Oh, let me make sure. It's not Doc. Okay, sorry. I'm hoping Doc will just pop in here, but it looks like he's not. I mean, half of the hour is already up. So, okay. Well, I guess I'll just start with this. So, what are the different aspects of the future of disclosure? When it comes to the future of disclosure, I would say one of those would be the the technologies, like free energy technologies and other kind of technologies, which have been basically, kept from humanity for a long time. I mean, these kind of technologies that they have, that these black budget programs have, are years and years beyond what the regular general civilization thinks we have. So that's unfortunate because a lot of these technologies are probably free energy technologies. I've heard they already do have anti-gravity technology. It has to do with backwards rotating magnets, or polarized rotating magnets. And there's just probably so many technologies that are just years and years beyond what we have. And that's kind of unfair for the rest of humanity because, I'm assuming probably a lot of elite type individuals do have these technologies. And, I had a discussion with someone about that recently, and it was very interesting because we were just thinking about it. And it's like, if you were someone who had billions or trillions of dollars, I mean, would you, and then you were able to, you knew that people out there had these technologies. Wouldn't you just want to like hire your own private scientists to just build them for you? And this discussion started from the Concorde, actually. So let me pull up something about that. That would be good to talk about. So the Concorde was a ship. I believe it was the Concorde. Okay, here it is. So I'll pull that up on Wikipedia right now. Because, okay, so I never really heard about the Concorde. I remember back in like around 2012, I was seeing these advertisements for like Richard Branson ramping up his international space flights, which would take you from like LA to New York in like an hour, or no, I think it was like New York to London in like an hour through going higher up in the atmosphere through space. So I thought that was really fascinating, and I thought more of that was going to come out. And I remember seeing actually like shoots in like Vogue magazine where there's these people in like futuristic glasses like in the ship, and they're talking about it being rolled out soon, but it never happened. And it's interesting because I had no idea that the Concorde was a thing. So I don't know if you guys know about it. Oh wow, Marco here says I flew on the Concorde London to NYC in 3 hours. That's incredible. So I had no idea about this. So let me pull this up actually right now, and we'll go over this. Let me see here. So this is the Wikipedia article about it. The Aerospace Concorde is a British-French turbojet-powered supersonic passenger airliner that was operated from 1976 until 2003. It had a maximum speed over twice the speed of sound, with seating 92 to 128 passengers. First flown in 1969, Concorde entered service in 1976 and operated for 27 years. It is one of the only two supersonic transports to have operated commercially. The other is the Soviet-built Tupolev Tu-144, which operated in the late 1970s. Concorde was jointly developed and manufactured by Sud Aviation, later I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce that, and the British Aircraft Corporation under an Anglo-French treaty. 20 aircraft were built, including 6 prototypes and development aircraft. Air France and British Airways were the only airlines to purchase and fly Concorde. The aircraft was used mainly by wealthy passengers who could afford to pay a high price in exchange for the aircraft's speed and luxury service. For example, in 1997, the round-trip ticket price from New York to London was $7,995 more than 30 times the cost of the cheapest option to fly this route. The original program cost estimate was 70 million. The program experienced huge overruns and delays, and the program eventually costing 1.3 billion. It was the extreme cost that became the main factor in the production run being much smaller than anticipated. Later, another factor which affected the viability of all supersonic transport programs was that supersonic flight could be used only on ocean crossing routes to prevent sonic boom disturbance over populated areas. With only 7 airframes each being operated by British and French, the per unit cost was impossible to recoup. So the French and British governments absorbed the developmental costs. So it just goes on here. So, let me see. So this is really interesting. Marco here says, I think I paid 8,300. So this is really interesting because, obviously they said that is really about the cost of it that was an issue. But I think what's going on with this is, honestly, I feel like some more elite individuals have probably hired their own scientists to just, build their own ships that are kind of more personal ships that they can just fly back and forth with, higher up in the atmosphere where no one can see them. I think that's a possibility because it's like, why would they care about anyone else? If they could do that, then why not just do that? So I feel that's very likely could be a possibility here. But also, I feel like, for example, like computers, the way they first started out, they were like an entire room, and now we can just fit it on our little phones, So I think that's just kind of the way technology progresses. And I feel that I'm sure that that's kind of happened with, the way that they're working with the engines and, the sorry, I'm just looking at the comments here, and just the way that the ship is operated. I'm sure that they've made some changes where it's much more efficient now. So I think that's interesting to see where that goes in the future, because I think the future of aircraft and the future of these supersonic jets, I think there's definitely going to be a lot more coming out about that. I mean, also they could probably make it to where, it doesn't have these sonic booms. So that's interesting as well. And I think, a lot's going to be happening with this. I think Richard Branson and Elon Musk and, all these people, the reason why they're all stepping into the space race is because they want to take advantage of this, because it's going to be ramping up. And I think it's going to be really interesting. But also with them, I feel another interesting thing is they're probably trying to get into asteroid mining, which is going to be a major cash for anyone who starts doing that, or any nation that starts doing that. So, it's interesting. I think that, aircraft is going to start going that route, commercial aircraft. Commercial flight. I don't know what the word I'm looking for is here. But I really feel that's going to start going in that direction. And from what I've heard, they've actually already made blueprints for planes that can go from LA to New York in 7 minutes. I mean, imagine that. That's so incredible. You could literally get work done at any time all around the world. Any day you could just, go to the other side of the planet, get work done, then come back for dinner. It's really interesting. And I feel, also with the way that technology is going and, new energy is coming out, obviously we're going to keep evolving with this. It's not going to stop. We didn't hit a roadblock here. That doesn't happen with the way technology progresses. It doesn't happen like that. There's always a solution. There's always new solutions. And if we just keep working through them, eventually we're going to evolve our technologies to a point, if we haven't already, which I'm sure we probably have already. But I think it's going to get to a point where, the everyday individual can afford one of these tickets to go from one side of the planet to another. And, I think a lot of that also has to do with free energy technologies, which needs to be released. And, that's what's so important about disclosure to me. I go around speaking at political kind of events as well as UFO events. So when I go speak at political events, I come in as a disclosure activist or an exo politician and kind of represent the UFO kind of disclosure community. And what I like to say is I like to bring up that side of it. I think it's so important that we release these technologies. There's all these technologies that these black budget corporations have that our tax dollars are going into that we aren't seeing. And if these start being released, I mean, that will completely change the planet. And, it's already here. It's already here. So it's going to be amazing to see that happen. It really is. And once free energy technologies are really a common thing and being commonly used, and made efficiently so that every citizen can use them, then this means it'll completely change our entire way of civilization, the way society is. It will change everything. It really will. And so these technologies that I was just talking about, think about how that will affect consciousness or perception. I had a conversation about this with someone recently, and I got really deep with it, and it was actually really fascinating because we really got into this. And, I really feel that the perception of people is just going to be completely blown apart once these technologies start coming out. I mean, really imagine how that would feel if you could go from LA to New York in 7 minutes. Imagine how that would feel. Imagine how it would feel if you could go from New York to Europe in an hour or 14 minutes. Wouldn't that be crazy? I mean, seriously, I really feel that people don't understand the perception that this would, it would just completely open you up to seeing the planet as a more like one world community. Like right now, when we think about, if you're an American and you think about Africa, it's just, it's like this other place on the other side of the world that, for some of us will probably never go there. If you do, it's like this whole venture to get there. And so you don't really think about it that much. You don't think about these other places on the planet very much because it's just like, maybe some of you do, but I'm just saying it's like, it'll be so much different when every human being can access these technologies to get anywhere in the planet very quickly. It won't be a normal kind of civilization anymore. People won't be thinking in this way anymore. It'll be completely different. Oh, and Doc is here finally. Hey, Doc, where you been? Did you forget about me?
I know, sweetie. I thought we were doing 6 o'clock my time, 5 o'clock your time. Totally messed up. Totally messed up. Hold on, let me put them out. Hold on. Come on. Oh. They hear your voice and are looking for you. So sorry, everybody.
Yeah, I figured that's what happened. Isn't it like a thing where in Arizona the time zone is like different than LA for like half of the year?
Yeah, that's correct.
Is this that time of the year?
I think so. I mean, it says it's 5:30 here. I'm guessing it's
it's 5:30 here too.
So it isn't the hour change.
Yeah, I thought that's what would happen, and like I was asking people in and everyone in the comments was saying that that's not the case right now this time of year. So
yeah, it was my bad. I was thinking we were off this. It's been a crazy year. Anyway, my apologies. Hello, welcome, good morning, good evening, wherever you are. Doc Skinner here. So.
Well, it's good to finally have you on. So I was just kind of getting into the idea of how if we really become a spacefaring civilization with the future of disclosure, where we start at least having these spacefaring technologies where we can go from LA to New York in 7 minutes, through like the atmosphere with these new plans that like Richard Branson, these different people are coming out with. I mean, don't you feel that would change the entire people's entire perception of reality? Because you'd be looking at this one world planet, or like the planet, as more of like a one world community in a completely different way. It's like, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, if we could travel, from, would you say London to New York in 7 minutes? Is that what you said? Or LA?
LA to New York in 7 minutes. Or I think they were saying, like New York to London in like an hour.
Yeah, no, that would change everything. It would help out a lot of stuff too. But I think what would even help even faster is if we were able to have like some type of teleporter, some type of machine that we could just transport things from one place to another instantaneously. But I'll take 7 minutes from LA to New York any day, and I'm sure the ride would be exciting, and it would help a lot if we could start traveling at that speed.
It's interesting what you were saying about the teleporting, because Jim Goodall, when I had him on my show, or he always says this thing where he says that when he interviewed the I think it was the vice president of Lockheed Skunk Works, when he was on his deathbed, he talked about he asked him what technologies they actually have, and he said on his deathbed, and he said, think about what's in Star Trek. We've already been there, done that, decided it wasn't worth it. And so I feel, to me, that means that, why need a machine when you can just go interdimensional and appear somewhere without needing like a physical machine?
Power and control. That's basically it. People that have this technology, they don't want anybody else to have it. Because it gives them a step up, a leg in the game ahead of everyone else, and ability to do all kinds of things. I actually am working on it's been years I've been working on a story about a teleporter system where some criminals are able to travel through one of these portal openings and end up on another planet, another solar system that rains diamonds, and they're trying to bring it back through this portal. Technology like that, in the right hands can do a lot of good. In the wrong hands, it can do a lot of bad. But it all comes down to control, and the powers that be that run this planet, that think they run this planet. We really do. I think we've been dumbed down to believe that we don't. But they do. It's all about control and being one step ahead of everyone else. But if it was to go public, it would save a lot of time and money with travel. If you could just ship something instantly from here to here. Yeah, truckers, I always say, are the backbone of the world in our country. But what would that do for trucker jobs? So there's good and bad in the idea of having all of that. And if it does, I think we could utilize it, but we'd have to worry about it being abused. So did I digress on that question?
No, not at all. Also there's the aspect of people are saying that, the cost of it would be too much and it's not efficient. But, I was saying before you came on that I feel that technology is just going to keep advancing like it has with computers. Obviously computers used to be like a whole room, and now we can fit them in our pockets. So I don't see why that couldn't happen with, the ships that they've been working on. And they probably already have some like free energy technologies with it, anti-gravity technologies, where they can just kind of convert like the atmosphere into like energy or something. But
molecules and putting them together, creating mass. Yeah, and a lot of that stuff you'll find that down in the playroom in the bunker below DARPA. Defense Advanced Research Project Agency. You want to go to You know, when you watch James Bond and Q would take him down to the lab and have all these great toys for James Bond, that's DARPA. You know,
Yeah.
they've got the cool stuff and the scary stuff.
And you know what's messed up about that is our tax dollars are going into these kind of programs.
Right.
So we should be able to access these kinds of technologies. It's not really right, and it's not fair.
It's not, because we pay for it. They don't. They abuse the money that we put into the government and build all these great toys and then keep it from us. If they didn't, it would, like you said, it would give us a step up in our evolution as a society, and how we do things. And I think they don't want that, because if they release certain technologies to us when it's out there, you know, it's like Pandora's box, that once you open it, it's open. But it could also be a way that we, the people, could use it against them. And that's what they're worried about. It's like that scene in the movie Ants, where the main grasshopper is talking to the other grasshoppers in the little Mexican cantina and says, well, you know, those little ants aren't nothing. He goes, really? And he throws a nut at him. He goes, does that hurt? Let's think that's an ant. And he throws it. He goes, no, it doesn't hurt. So he throws another one and another one, and they're laughing. He says, how about now? And he opens up the lid, and all these walnuts fall out of this bottle and bury these grasshoppers. He says, you let one stand up to us, then they will all stand up to us, and that will change their way of life. That was almost verbatim. Almost.
Yeah. Wow, I can't believe you remembered all that. That was a really powerful scene for a little kids movie.
Yeah, and even for adults. I mean, to see that, it's a wake-up call. One that, to the powers that be, scares the stuff out of them. For us, it should help us realize that we are empowered if we come together. And that's why I always say at the end of my shows, as long as we all lift each other up, we will all rise together. And because we do have power. We do have power in numbers. We can make a utopia that we want if we really came together, instead of always depending on Big Brother to come in and scoop us up and save the day. And it's getting to a point where, you know, you just can't count on the government to be there to save you if you need to.
You know, that's what it is right there. Like the issue we're having is like, it's like people think that it's these elites and the government's fault that, you know, it is the way it is. But really, I mean, we're all responsible for it because we're not coming together, and we're not, you know, like you said, like coming together to rise up and rebuild society in a way that is beneficial for everyone. It's like, it's our fault as much as it is theirs. Like, we're allowing them to take control and, you know, implement these different agendas that we've especially seen over the past couple years here. And it's the problem is a lot of people are just going along with it, and a lot of them know deep down that it's wrong. They see that it's wrong, and it's like this what's the word, cognitive dissonance thing. Like, they know deep down that what is going on is wrong, but they're just like, okay, I'll just let it keep going.
Yeah, but then they'll do stuff like what they've been doing lately, which is bribery. Well, if you do this, you get a free hamburger, or if you do this, you get $100. You know, it's, you know what I'm talking about. We don't want to say what the thing is.
Yeah.
But yeah, and that right there, that right there alone is breaking up one of this 10 Nuremberg code trials. And those are people that don't know that, look it up. It was the code of laws, you might say, 10 of them that no country could break. It was like international world law, right? And they put them together at Nuremberg trials in Germany, or not. Not Germany. I'm sorry. Is it Sweden or Helsinki? Helsinki, I think, is where they had the trials. And I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's Helsinki. And that's where they tried all of the Nazis. And they were like, well, we were just following orders. Well, they didn't get it, you know, they still got tried for it. And
you know, a lot of those scientists came here through Project Paperclip.
And here you go. That gave us
So
needing not another straight answer, which is NASA. And that became the front to kind of it's kind of give the American people just a little nibble of, oh yeah, we're doing something, but they're not going to talk about the SSP, because that's what was really going on all those years was a secret space program. And the thing we saw on TV was the show,
and it's so unfortunate that so many Americans, died for this show. I mean, right. Obviously, there's everything going on with the Jewish people in Germany. That's what they were all fighting for. But, it was, like you said, it was like, that wasn't really the real show in a lot of ways. So it's interesting. And, I think that's part of like what's going on with disclosure, the reason why they have to cover up so much, because if that was revealed, just that aspect of it, if that was revealed, I mean, a lot of people would be pretty upset about that.
Yeah. But with the videos that have come out of, we'll just say certain astronauts, either through Freudian slips or whatever, admitting to things that we didn't go, or
like
up to the moon.
Oh, right.
And I'm on the fence on that because I am patriotic. I do love my country, and I do love the idea of going into space. I was actually the first investor in a company that unfortunately didn't make it, but it was called Space Island Group, and we were going to build the first wheeled space station in orbit. And powers be didn't want that. And later I learned that, when I found out about the secret space program, I was like, oh, that makes sense why they, didn't want us to. It'll go off in a second. Hold on. Sorry about that. That was just been going on and on. If I didn't do this right now, turn that off.
That's all right.
Where was I? I got up and my thought left my head.
It was something about the powers that be not wanting us to have.
The NASA and the secret space program. So, it makes a lot of sense why we haven't, because we had Sir, not Sir Oltun Jr. That's from Cool in the Game. He wrote Hammer of the God, 2001, Space Odyssey. Not Stanley Kubrick. He directed that. Anyway, I'm flopping right here. Help me.
I don't know. You said he was the writer?
Yeah. It's slipping away. I've been eating jelly beans for the first time in years, and I think there's something in them that is like may not work, but they're so damn good. So the space program, Project Paperclip.
Arthur C. Clarke. The audience is helping you out here.
Arthur C. Clarke. I know because
I would have known that.
Sri Lanka when he died, and he was one of the advisors to the company. And he wrote 2001 Space Odyssey. So it was hardcore. We were ready to do this. But the government kept delaying our money that was supposed to come in from other countries. And it was just some weird stuff went on. And then 9/11 happened, and the money got all locked up. And then it, over years of litigation and stuff, it just didn't happen. But now there's another company that's called the Voyager Space Station, or Voyager Station Project. And it will be the first wheel space station in orbit, and they'll be able to build the ring structure in the first ring that makes the skeleton structure, the trussing system, in 24 hours. It'll take about 4,000 days. I think they said, or 4.5 years, 4.5 years to build it. And that right there is going to be a huge step for us as a society, because now it's just not, the boys club. There's some girls in it, but that little club that get to go into space, it's going to be everybody, about 100,000 people a year. And that's going to change things a lot, because people are going to get a new perspective. I mean, not new, but a personalized perspective from space of the Earth, and then see there are no boundaries. You know,
What do you think that how's that going to affect flat earthers?
I am not. I'm not a flat earther. Not saying I
I'm
am.
not either.
You know, I've been surprised, but I'm old school. You know, I'm almost 50, so I grew up with us being on a really big ball that is just so massive. No matter how far out you look, it's going to look flat because we're so tiny in comparison. And
I was
well,
talking to this. Oh, sorry.
no, go ahead.
I was talking to this flat earther at a conference one time, or like someone was talking about it, and he was actually doing a talk, and he came on, and he's like going on about flat Earth, and then he starts talking about hollow Earth, and we're like, dude, what do you think the Earth looks like? And someone in the audience was like, it's like a souffle. So, you know, souffles are like flat, but they're like
So he's a believer in flat Earth and the inner Earth.
Yeah. So it was like, what do you think Earth looks like? You know?
Oh yeah. I think I know Brooks Agnew very well, and he's discussed it, and it makes sense if the planet, is honeycombed. It's got all these caverns and stuff.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah, and the flat earthers have some interesting points. I will give them that. Okay. The video of the Independence kid or whoever that launched the rocket into space, and it was spiraling really, really, really fast. And then all of a sudden, it just comes to a complete standstill, like it hit something. Okay. That made me go, interesting. Very interesting. But, and then the other thing, if we're in I'm looking for one of my dog's tennis balls so I can have like a display. But the scientists and flat earthers talk about how, well, if you have this big ball, right, and it's going 1,000 miles an hour with all this water on it, and that's gravity. That's what keeps things together. Okay, I get that, but they're saying it's spinning and spinning and spinning, but it's also spinning around the sun, and at the same time, the sun is moving and we're spiraling with it. Okay, that's the new scientific theory that they say, right?
Yeah.
And they say, if all of that's happening, then how is it that all the stars stay in the exact same place, except for the North Star, everything spins around it. That would make sense.
Wait, you're saying why are all the other stars in the same place?
Yeah, it's that. If scientists are saying that we're, there's this ball of the sun and there's us and we're going around it and the sun is moving at the same time, instead of the sun being the center of our solar system like we think or we were taught. I don't know. And
that is kind of weird.
And my question to flat earthers is this: if we're flat, then why are all the other planets round? I mean, a dome and all that. I get that. Makes sense. But what about the moon? I mean, is the moon flat too? Is that why we only see the face side, not the dark side? But even though we've had craft fly around the moon, so it can't be flat. And I'm not saying anything to go, you're wrong. I'm not doing that. I'm pointing out that flat earthers, I don't agree with their theory, but they do have some compelling points to their arguments.
I think a lot of these could have to do with the holographic universe theory too, like that aspect of the star thing you were just saying.
Were we in the Matrix? I mean, did we all really die in 2012? And our souls and minds were uploaded to a quantum computer matrix system, and we're part of a simulation. Hence why the inspiration for Sim City, because like in the Matrix, Neo is given little hints that he wasn't in full reality that he thought he was in. And we could be doing the same thing with ourselves with these movies, explaining Truman with
the Truman Show trips me out.
I mean, that's
when I saw that, it just like blew my head apart.
The Truman Show was real, And the idea of flat Earth is actually we are on a Truman set. You know, I've had some weird stuff that made me think. I have had a light fall out of the sky above, from over my head, but I've experienced some weird things that makes me think, am I on a set? Am I in a movie? I mean, it's just, of course, a lot of stuff going on in 2021. 2021 is like the action disaster movie year of all time.
I think we're like one big reality show to like different ETs. I mean, part of me almost wonders if like the agenda of like all of us getting all this technology that's spying on us is so that they could use like our like government's like NSA programs and everything to like watch us like this big reality show.
That sounds like the Simpsons movie to me, where the NSA.
I haven't seen that one.
Oh, for shame!
I'm not a fan of the Simpsons. I'm gonna be honest. I love like adult cartoons, but I've never gotten into the Simpsons. I just think they look weird.
Paula, I'm giving you a movie suggestion for tonight. Get some popcorn. I want you to watch the Simpsons movie because it will blow your mind. It will blow your mind. And you'll have to remember this was made years ago. So when you see this stuff, you're gonna be like, "Oh, it's right now." You need to watch the Simpsons movie tonight, Apolla. I want a book report tomorrow. I mean,
is it the only movie they have? I don't know. Is there only one or
only one? And the town gets put into a dome, a glass dome, and the NSA is involved, and there's spying, and they're listening to your dude. It's your kind of you'd be down for it. Totally watch it. If you don't, I'll give you your money back.
Okay, I'll definitely watch it. I don't know if we're gonna do that tonight, but I'll definitely watch it as soon as I can.
All right. What else do you want to talk about? Oh, you want to talk about that thing we're doing?
Oh yeah, DisclosureCon.
Yeah, it's this little thing we're going to do over at the Honda Casino Resort in Pine Top, Arizona, October 2nd and 3rd. And by the way, that's Honda HON-DAH. It's a Apache tribe. So that'll be going on, and we got some huge speakers. This beautiful little lady will be kicking off the event, and I'm talking about you, by the way, Apolla.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, and then we also have a dear friend. He's going to be emceeing and speaking. Ben Chasteen from Edge of Wonder and Rise TV. We've got the man who inspired the X-Files, John D'Souza, former FBI, 25 years in the Special X-Files division before it was called the X-Files. From Ancient Aliens, best-selling writer, author, and screenwriter Mike Barra will be with us. The man behind the story of Fire in the Sky, Travis Walton, will be speaking. Blake and Brent Cousins from Thirdphaseofmoon are doing a video presentation from the Big Island of Hawaii. And then,
they're not coming in person?
Let me tell you, it was, well, they just got back from Cali, right? Or from doing the tour. And I guess traveling is just, it's really difficult. So, yeah, unfortunately, they won't physically.
They came to see you, right? How was that?
Oh, yeah, it was great. Yeah, Jim Goodall, me. We had John D'Souza. We hung out with him. And did we hang out with Michael Schratt? No, we were going to hang out with Michael Schratt. But we stayed at stayed at Jim's place down in the valley. And oh my God, it's hot down there. But beautiful home. And we got to sit and do interviews. And really just, it was the first time we all physically met each other. I mean, Jim and I knew each other before, but the boys and some of the other speakers.
Yeah, I saw them in LA first before, and they were with some of the other guys on the panel that I hadn't never met before.
Yeah, Dr. J.
So that was really fun.
Yeah, and it's going to be really cool because they're working on Countdown to Disclosure 2.
Oh, so, really?
Or what? Did you know about that?
No. Maybe they did tell me and I forgot. I don't know.
So yeah.
But by the way, I have the site I can pull up right here where everyone can get their tickets.
Oh yes, thank you.
Here is the site right here. So it's just DisclosureCon.com. Here's the whole lineup.
And we got Rex Bear from the League Project as well. And it's going to be a good old time. Everybody's going to be speaking, and we're going to have a couple vendors. We're going to keep it small this year due to the tribe. They're still kind of strict on the policies because they're run by a tribal council, not by laws like we have and rules. So I'm just very grateful that they're going to be open this year. Last year they weren't, but this year they are. And I have to keep the numbers down. I can't have it be like fully open, like we got 1,000 people in there. But this year we're limited to around 200 to 300. So if you want to get your tickets, please get it now. If you want to have the full experience, get the VIP pass. You get to go to the VIP parties both nights, and on the Sunday night, you get to go to the fireside chat with the speakers.
That was a lot of fun last year, or 2 years ago. I keep thinking it's last year.
It's really good for the people that come as well, because most conventions you go to, there'll be somebody great on stage, and then they'll do their Q&A, and you'll have a line on one side and a line on the other down the aisle, and 2 microphones, and people just waiting, and they go up and they get their one question, right? Well, for a lot of people, that's that can cause anxiety, because you're in line, the anticipation is building up, you get up, you're about to somebody that you wanted to ask the question for years, or you just really admire them, and there's like, hello, okay, so what's your question? And you're like, and then you say something stupid or ask the wrong question, and then you feel like a schmuck later. All right. So this allows the VIP. We won't take questions during the lectures. Okay. We'll save them for the Q&A on Sunday night, and then also we'll have a table talk with everyone on stage, so they can ask questions there. But if they're worried, and they're worried about a big crowd of people watching them, sitting down around the fireplace in these beautiful leather couches and just in a relaxed environment, people can feel more comfortable talking with these celebs, these speakers, and realizing we're all human beings too, and we're all just trying to get through each day like everyone else, and it personalizes it. Everybody had a great time. We've had guitars pulled out, and people start singing. Travis Walton did that.
Wow.
We had one of our local singers, Tyler King. She showed up, and she belted it out, and it was completely unexpected, but it was a lot of fun. Everybody had a great time, and it's this year's going to be very intimate, which will be nice. I think everybody will have an opportunity to speak with each of the speakers and get their time in. So I'm really looking forward to it. We also got like Christopher LaPratt. He's the seer of the unseen. He's psychic to the stars and to royal families around the world. Wow. Of course, our dear friend Brooke Agnew, who's leading the North Pole Inner Earth expedition to find the entrance to the Hollow Earth, and so he'll be speaking as well. Of course, our friend Jim Goodall, foremost expert on spy. He's the world's foremost expert on spy planes and any kind of spycraft, submarines and whatnot. And then Rex Bear from the League Project, and of course Apolla Asteria. So it'll be a lot of fun. Get your tickets now. You can go to DisclosureCon.com. Sorry, I'm looking this way. I'm looking at the website. And I'm actually getting ready to go. What time is it? No, I'll have to wait till Monday. I gotta get the T-shirts ordered and everything. We've got the VIP passes set up, and they're cool. you'll keep.
I love the VIP pass from your event. Is my favorite one I've had. Like I collect all my passes from all the events I speak at and put them in my rear view mirror. Like I hang them off my rear view mirror in my Jeep, and that was my favorite one.
Actually, I remember seeing the DisclosureCon hanging your Jeep in your little documentary. Yeah. It's fun. Yeah. And
are there going to be any panels, by the way? I actually just hosted a panel this last weekend at Camp Disclosure, and I really enjoyed it. I'd never done that before.
Yes, Sunday night of the event, Ben will be emceeing. That's why I brought Ben in. I was like, look, I do this thing by myself. I need help. Can you MC?
Who's all on the panel? What's that about?
That's everybody that's speaking at the event.
Oh, cool. Awesome.
So it's for,
people,
it's for the people that didn't buy VIP passes. It's for the public.
Cool.
So then the VIP pass will get you the private, meet and greet and Q&A questions at the fireside chat before you go on to the party. So yeah,
Sweet.
It'll be a lot of fun. And
we got a couple questions here.
I haven't even looked in there. I'm sorry.
Will it be online too?
No, it will not. The Apache reservation, the internet's not that great. So we can't do any live streams, or I probably would have made it a 3-day event and had a lot of other big names on there as well. I mean, I got big names on here, but I got a bunch of people. And we do have somebody that was on the roster. We're hoping that they can make it. I haven't heard anything back. Mike Barra has been pushing to make it happen. But Laura Eisenhower is not on the roster. She originally was, but she has kind of some issues with travel, certain airlines. So we're trying to think about maybe getting her on a train. If we can do it and get her out here.
Oh my gosh, can we please make that happen?
Yeah, I mean, because originally she was on the schedule.
And she was supposed to be staying in a cabin with me, right? So who am I staying with if she doesn't come?
She's your bunkmate. And let's just hope and pray that she can get here. If she does, we'll have to finagle Ben to just say,
yeah.
Or maybe we might knock out the movie, because I was going to show a movie on Sunday, but we might knock it out if she goes back and just give her that hour, so that she can.
Well, I'm gonna have to hit her up and convince her. I mean, but she just needs a train ticket. That's all.
I think she needs. I mean, it'd be better if someone would pick her up, and drive her down here, because she was wanting to hitchhike. Of course, it's Laura. Laura, she's like the most.
Make it happen, but
she's like the coolest hippie out there. She hitchhikes. She'll read tarot cards for gas money.
Dude,
amazing.
She would make it. She would be able to make it happen.
Yeah. So
she might get a little sidetracked along the way, but she probably get there eventually.
She's really on top of stuff, but every now and then, squirrel. No, I just love her. She's amazing. But
I haven't seen her since the event 2 years ago, and that's like crazy because I normally see her like once a month at conferences before all this crap.
Yeah, well, we'll pray and hope. I had her on the roster, but I totally understand. I don't want to go on any airlines either, and I'm from an airline Air Force brat. I'm all about planes, but the way the world is right now, it's just scary. I'd rather drive if I had to go anywhere.
It's crazy. I've been in like Florida and Georgia, and it's like a whole different world out there. Like no one's wearing masks, everything's fine. And then you get on a plane and you go to LA and it's like completely different world.
So when are you what's the word I'm looking for? When are you going to be a Cali refugee? When are you getting out?
Everyone keeps asking me the same question, and
that's God talking to you through other people, girl.
Well, I mean, I don't know where I'll go. I mean,
come to the mountain. It's great up here. Hey, I love your desk. Is that like a control panel, or is that a parking lot with garages on your desk?
No, these are circuit boards. I found junk circuit boards online. I want to add some like levers and stuff, but I thought they
that's brilliant. I mean, it's just because it's a really small screen, it's all compressed. It looked like you had a whole bunch of Matchbox cars with a set up little garage and parking lot. And there's one on the right. That's what it looks like. Anyway, I was like, she's got toys.
Oh no. Yeah, I need to get some levers and stuff in here. I was actually looking today because I'm starting, I don't know if I told you, I'm starting 2 radio networks. So this is going to be streamed at KGRA and Aftermath now. So I'm actually opening up for Jimmy Church on KGRA, and then on Aftermath, I don't know who I'm in between on Aftermath now, but so I found this, like, I was looking online, I found this like thing, this DJ mixer thing where it has like laugh tracks and like, like different sounds that you can throw in. I'm thinking about getting one. That might make things interesting.
He's got little buttons.
Well, it was like applause and like I don't know,
those are
you can like
great.
change your voice and everything. I'm like, I don't know how much I would use this on the show, but I mean, if it's more radio, it might be kind of fun.
Well, applause is always good. You don't want to be the cheesy DJ.
Yeah, that would be kind of cheesy. Like that's what I mean, that's probably kind of cheesy, isn't it? But
No,
I don't know. Like it might be funny to just throw in sometimes.
They're called drop-ins, and they're always good to have, but you don't want to abuse it. You know,
right.
just use it every now and then, like the applause or ooh, little sound effects like that. You can just, because if you do it limited, like every now, people don't expect it. If you do it all the time, they're like, they're using the clown horn again, whatever. But just like when your show starts, do the applause. Have that fictitious audience behind you. It gives a little extra. People believe it.
Yeah, especially on a radio show.
Right. But that's the greatest. The power of radio is so amazing.
I also feel like it'll be great with radio because people can't see me anymore.
Yeah, and that can help sometimes. Not in your case. You're beautiful, but most people.
No. See, that's the problem though, because when I'm on a show, like a lot of times, people in the comments will be like saying that they want to go on dates with me and stuff like that, and it's just kind of distracting. I know everyone's been really chill tonight, but I've had nights where people are just saying some pretty explicit stuff about me in the comments. So I'm like, maybe it'll be better if people can't see me.
Well, a lot of people do that. I've met a lot of beautiful radio DJs, and they're kind of in the same boat as you. That they say it's much better because people have their own visual idea of what you look like from their perception, right? Of hearing you. Mm-hmm. And so when you go out in public, you're not what they think you look like. So it kind of helps you with your anonymity when you're in the business. But you kind of did it in reverse and did video first. So people know what you look like. So,
Yeah.
But be grateful. You could have a face like most radio DJs, which they call a face for radio, which means like mine. It just doesn't work.
A face for, that's funny.
That's the term. It's called face for radio, meaning you're not that good looking. That's why no one's ever said it to you because you're gorgeous. But I
couldn't imagine someone coming up to you and saying that like seriously, like wow.
Well, if you ever have a
perfect face for radio.
Yeah, that's what you say when the guys are being jerks to you and they're like, "Hey, baby," like, you know what? You look like you got a face for radio, and they're like, "Oh yeah," and you know what's up.
Oh man, that's funny.
Oh boy, we are just digressing, aren't we?
Yeah, just a little bit. So Steve Blair here says, "Is there a beer garden?"
Oh, at DisclosureCon?
Yeah.
No, they do have a bar. There's no alcohol in the ballroom, but yeah, they do have a bar. Just walk up the door and around the corner, and they have beer. It's not in a garden though. So it's in a bar. A good question, Steve. I think that's a good thing because, people have come and asked, and they're like, "Where's the alcohol?" And I'm like, "Well, it's over around the corner in the bar." So, because buying that for your event, that stuff adds up. I'm like, nah, you can get your drinks.
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
that after party at that one bar was so fun.
And we will be there again at the world famous Lodge Bar and Grill in Pine Top, Arizona. And I've got DJ Jay Allen in the mix who's going to be DJing, and he's mind blowing. You remember?
Do I get to be a dancing alien again?
Not to say that's what I was getting ready to say. I was like,
but it's got to be something different this time.
Yeah, we'll find something. For people that don't know what we're talking about,
just leave it as a surprise for them. They'll have to find out. They'll have to come and find out.
Okay, you'll have to come and see for yourself. Like I said, there's I think 100 VIP passes. If they sell out, if they sell out quick, I might do a couple extra if you're nice. I like when people schmooze up to me. I think it's kind of because I don't get enough love and attention. No, but it's going to be fun, and get your passes now because they are going to go quick. There will be general admission tickets. There's about 100 of those. I think there's 50 teenager tickets because we do have teens that come to this event. We have had some amazing people come to our event that most people didn't even know. Apolla, I think I told you this, the first year of DisclosureCon, Vincent Fusco supposedly showed. I didn't meet him. Other people that were there told me that he was there and he was looking at the gigantic Q map, the 4 foot by 6 foot billboard that I had made of the famous Q map that shows how all the conspiracies are connected. And supposedly he was standing there and he told somebody I knew, he's like, so what do you think about all this? And she didn't know who he was. But he was wearing the fedora, the tie, the scruffy beard, the glasses. And a year later, I was, talking about Junior, Jay Junior, we'll just say, and she pulled up a picture of Vincent Fusco. She goes, that guy was at your event on the first year. We're like, no way. She goes, yeah, we talked. I'm like, holy shit. And then the second year, if do you remember the horn guy's name, Apolla? Because you were there. You were in DC on the big January 16th down of DC.
Yeah. Yeah, Jake.
Fucking stupidly just ridiculous.
Hey, let's keep a little quiet about that because I'll toss you off here. But yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, that whole thing, we can burn down cities and stuff, but that's bad.
Hey, I didn't go inside. I was not inside.
No, Paula was a good girl. She reported from outside. She stayed in the cold to everyone else. She was smart. But this one gentleman didn't. He became like the poster child.
I saw him. I saw him when he came out. I saw him earlier that day, and then I saw him that he came out the doors, and I was like, Jake, what were you doing in there? And he was like, oh, I just said a prayer for the nation in the middle of the Senate. And I was like, wow, that's really cool. And then he just walked away. I was like, but yeah, he was there at DisclosureCon.
Yeah, he came to DisclosureCon
in the same outfit, dressed in the same way.
Yeah, I mean, he was a photo image of what he was on the 6th.
Yeah. Every time I saw him at the Save the Children rallies in Hollywood, and it was the same thing.
Wow. I didn't know who he was at that time in 2019. He came to DisclosureCon full gear. And, I did a costume contest that year. So I thought, he was there for the costume contest. And so he's like, hey, Doc Skinner. I was like, yeah. He goes, hey, man, this is just a great event. Thank you so much for putting this on. Hey, no problem. I was like, hey, you're probably going to win. So see you soon. And I left. all the contact I had with Jake, right? That's his name?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was it. And then January 6th rolls around. And I'm like, wait a minute. I know that guy. Holy shit. So that's
so surreal, right? I was just on this show recently and they had someone playing him. I can't say what show. I wish I could talk about it because they totally inverted reality, like what the whole that whole movement was. They made it into something completely different. And it was like they were like literally trying to brainwash people about people that are involved in all that.
And that's what they do. I mean, it's all manipulation. And the government's really, really good at it. And it's done on mass scale.
Dude, I'll say this. Basically, what they did was they tried to put letter 17 people in with Epstein's private island, and they were saying that they were involved with like Epstein. And I'm like, they were exposing Epstein and all those people. So that's
wait. So they were saying that 17, were members at Epstein's island.
Yeah, but it's in a comedy thing, man. I want to talk.
Oh, they're doing a spoof. Okay.
No, but I mean, I wish I could say more, but I signed NDAs. I want to talk. I'll talk to you about it when we get off, though, because
and for those that hate that we have to do that and go, shh, can't say that again. The talk of tick. It's the talk of the town. Or did you hear me? Did you hear what I said? Or was I not close to the mic?
The talk of tick?
Yeah.
Sorry.
TikTok. I was doing it backwards. It's really blown up to where if you you want to hear people not censored, that's where it's at. I'm noticing. It's really huge, and a lot of information is being spread over there as well. You know, the whole thing with the general years ago are saying that there's an army of digital soldiers when he was talking about our movement. It really is. I mean, it's us independent researchers and stuff like what Apolla's doing and I'm doing, and all these other people that are coming to DisclosureCon, and just people that are in different aspects of life around the world are all starting to come together through social media and really starting to make a stand. Hold on. I feel like I'm digressing way too far here. Hold on. I'm catching myself before I go too far. We were discussing what again?
The people that show up at DisclosureCon.
Yes.
Well, let me just answer while you think about that. Let me just answer Adrian here from Disclosure Fest comment at the bottom here. He said, Apolla, are you coming Saturday to feed our souls? Yes, I will do that. That's awesome. Send me the information, please, Adrian. For those of you out there that don't know, Disclosure Fest, they have these different initiatives in the LA area. And Feed Our Souls initiative, that one's about giving back to the homeless, feeding the homeless on Skid Row. So definitely want to come to that one. So, but I definitely recommend everyone, if you want to donate to a great cause, definitely donate to Disclosure Fest.
Very cool. I did not know that they did social stuff like that.
Yeah, that's really awesome. I'm going to be doing that definitely this Saturday.
Very cool. So, and that's in LA?
Yeah, we do. There's a lot. I haven't been able to do the other initiatives yet. But yeah, the Feed the Homeless one, I've been doing that one, or Feed Our Souls. But right. Yeah, it's all in LA, and that's the event they do here every year, Disclosure Fest. But it's kind of more of like, you know, there's like that aspect of it, but then they organize all these initiatives.
Can you just imagine, Paula, if every, you know, I'm totally against communism and tyranny and all that, but you know, in Israel, everybody that's born, male and female, you have to serve, I think, 2-3 years in the Israeli army. Okay, that means every single living person in Israel has served and knows how to use weapons, but they also know how to take care of other people. What would happen if we could all grasp that concept and embrace it and do what you're doing, you know, things like that, feeding the homeless, not just on Christmas and Thanksgiving, but I mean, literally take one day out of your week and have it be strictly to serve others. Just one day.
Charity has always been really important to me because growing up, my younger brother, he was born with a rare liver disease. And my mom had to give him half of her liver, and that side of the surgery was like it was like a boob job, so like it was like cosmetic basically considered. So like the insurance company wouldn't cover it, and it was like $500,000. So my whole community, so my whole community came together to like do all these benefits to help us raise money for it, so my brother could survive. And you know, that to me, like it was like several benefits, like it was a lot, and like that to me, I was like, okay, like, you know, charity is really important and amazing work. And I just ever since then, and that's when I was 2, when I was in second grade, he was 2 when that happened. But ever since then, I did charity stuff all growing up because I just feel it's really important. Good. Yeah, it does.
Good. It, you know, even people that are egotistical all about themselves are like, they're scum. Why should I worry about them? If you just took one day, I mean, and sat down with a homeless person or a group of people and just listened to them, some of them were living lives just like you are living, but something happened. Life got in the way, and now their circumstances have changed. And let me tell you, it can happen to you. Anybody. Doesn't matter what position you hold, how much money you have, where you live. Shit happens, and it's everybody gets one. I think everybody gets a reset opportunity. Some get many more than others, but that is the time when you need to reflect and realize, you know, okay, maybe my ways aren't the best. Maybe I should set my ego aside and try to change myself. If everybody did that, which I don't see happening, I would love it to see it happen. I think the world would be a lot better place than it is today. I would just love to see people that live in homes, apartments, neighborhoods, whatever, and they know their neighbors. How many people out there actually know
dude,
their
especially here in LA? Oh my gosh. I remember one year, like, so my parents live in Illinois, or the rest of my family, and one year around Christmas time, my mom was like, oh, did you ever think about baking cookies and giving it to your neighbors? And I'm living in the Hollywood Hills, and I'm just thinking, I could not imagine knocking on the door of these houses with cookies like people in the Midwest do. They'd be like, what the hell are you doing here?
Yeah, or come with pies. I mean,
like, seriously, like, I seriously cannot imagine how people would react to that. They'd just be like, get off my doorstep.
But it's funny, but at the same time, isn't it sad that people are like that? And it's because of the environments, the hustle and bustle, living on top of each other in boxes. What was that song from Weed? Little boxes on a hillside, little boxes for everyone. Little boxes made of ticky-tack. Oh my God, I'm remembering the words. Crazy. Anyway, it's like we're just, especially in the cities, they're prisons. They're self-contained prisons, basically, that we build, that we sell to each other, we rent out to each other, and we're in these boxes, and we do what the government tells us. We take our shots, we do that, we do this. If everybody...
And they make you think you should love your little coffin apartment. Right. They're like, they make you feel like you have to be proud. Like, I love this little coffin I live in. And right. It's like that's a horrible way to live. I can't live in apartments. I tried like twice before, and it just doesn't feel right to me.
No, it doesn't. And the walls are thin, so you get to hear everything, or they hear everything. And being a homeowner is probably where it's at, because you get to work on a yard, you're growing your plants, you're putting money into something every month that's going to be yours, not just somebody else's. And after 40-something years, I was like, I'm done. I'm buying a house. So, it's just another box. It's just, I got grass around it, but it's my happy box. It's my little
happy box.
happy place. And I'm okay with it. Kind of like, certain animals, they like to have, like certain dogs, they like to have their little kennel cages or whatever. It's a comfort. So it's that security blanket, and most of society is just like that. And the government and the kings and queens, that's their security blanket. The ones that are supposed to take care of them, make sure that they have the benefits they need. But here in the United States, we've become very, very lazy, because the powers that be knew they could bribe us. Bribing people to, stay home, we'll send you stimulus checks. That's the big one. And now you see hiring signs everywhere.
Hey, I never stay at home, but I still got my checks.
Yeah. And all these people,
some of us don't follow the rules.
Well, I got the first check last year or whatever, but that went to mortgage, but I'm still working, still paying my bills on time. It's hard as hell. But it's easy because I'm older. I don't go out. I don't drink anymore. So that helps. I don't have a girlfriend. I save a lot of money.
I do want to talk on that for a second, because it's interesting. I've noticed that it's like a weird period right now where, I don't know if it's like this where you're at, but I'm noticing that a lot of people are having major problems with money. And it seems like, especially here, it's like most people are artists, entertainers, and like, they don't have their regular amount of work. It's starting to get better, but it's not the same. But then it's also like, people were put on unemployment, and then now they're like taking it off, and they're kind of like, I don't know if I should stay on my unemployment or if I should do this, because I might not be okay if I get off it and do this.
My question to them is this: can you stand up and walk around, and can you work? If you can, then go do it. People need to stop being lazy and dependent that everything's gonna be handed to them. And
But what I'm
unfortunately,
saying is there isn't the same amount of jobs now. It's like the job market isn't the same right now. So it's just kind of
everywhere
like,
I've been in the past few months, I've been in Dallas, Fort Worth, and all throughout Arizona. And I mean, we've got signs everywhere. There's job openings. I mean, I could get a job anywhere right now. But my job, my personal job, is I work on big events. So that trying to have a regular job and do what I do, it just doesn't work. So it is my job. I have to get up. I do it every day. And it is. I think there's just been this generation that everything's been handed to them. Everything's a click. Everything's on their phone. Everything's an app. I think some of these younger generations, they don't understand what it's like to, do what you do, which is like go out on a hike and enjoy nature, be one with the world. They're all about their games, their sports, their gaming consoles and virtual reality.
Oh man. See, like I don't feel like the rest of my generation at all. To me, it's like I just want to be like working on my like mission here on the planet, or hiking or reading, and that's really all I care about.
That's because you have gotten a grasp of which direction you're supposed to be going. Whereas most other people your generation, they're just in fucking limbo because all they know is intangible shit. Like selfies on Instagram and all about the ego and everything. My phone did an update last Friday and it locked me out of my phone for the whole weekend. And on Monday I had to have my phone completely wiped. And people were just like, how did you do it? How did you survive without your phone for a day? I just kept taking breaths and just got through the day, But it's become so dependent on everything. Everybody, how many people can actually, there's people that know how to cook, but the younger generations, everything's drive through, everything's order, out or use your app. Everything it's the damn young generation's got it too freaking easy. That's what this old man is saying, dumbasses. This is, when I say this, I'm not saying everybody. I'm just, the people I talk about. You've come across them and you just want to psychically bitch slap them or slap their parents, for not raising them like you're supposed to. And parents, unfortunately, we have the whole thing where both parents are working, in some cases 2-3 jobs. So MTV and the Disney Channel or whoever, Netflix, the Skinemax, they're the ones raising the kids. Yeah. And that's not what you want to have raising your kids. Granted, Netflix, I love
That's
Netflix.
how I was raised.
Yeah, well, I was too.
I played outside a lot, but usually my parents would be like, "Oh, go watch TV."
Well, I'll tell you.
I don't watch
TV.
TV.
What started all this chaos? Okay, what broke up the family? Broken homes and all that, and kids just totally misbehaving. And it was this. You ready? 3 letters. VCR. That stood for video cassette recorder. There used to be these rectangle things with tape in it, and it would record movies and shows, right? Mm-hmm. Well, before that came along, people had a rhythm. They had their cadence, their rituals that they would do every day. Like, this day was what we would do, and Sunday was this day, and everybody had their thing, and communities came together. Then the VCR came along, and dads could record their games, mom could record their soap operas, kids could record their Saturday morning cartoons and watch them day and night whenever they want. And then people were just sitting around watching that, and it just took over. Cable came around, and Skinemax, and dude, I was one of those kids that would sit there with the little cable machine that had the little slider on it with all the channel numbers, and you have to slide it back and forth, and you have to get it just right in between so you can get Skinemax, and you see these squiggly things, and you're like, that's a nipple.
It really does bother me. Like when I was younger, I didn't really see it as much, but as I've gotten older, I don't know, I guess I'm more conscious about these things now. I like when I look at someone that's watching TV, I feel like they're in a trance, and it really, like, it's really gotten to the point for me where I can't watch TV anymore. And I always
Right.
like to joke, like, I don't watch TV, I'm just on it. But like seriously, I literally never watch TV unless I'm with someone that like really wants to watch something with me. Like occasionally I'll watch a movie. I just really can't do it. And like I know people, like it bothers me when I see people who just kind of sit in front of the TV and watch TV all day in their free time, or people that always have to have like a TV on in the background. Like
Right.
I like a lot of people I've dated, it's like they always need a TV on in the background, and I can't do it. Like I literally, or like people that like, you know, like for me, like that's what's hard for me being in a relationship. Like a lot of people, they want to like watch TV before bed together, and like to me that's just, I don't want to do that. I want to like go out and have fun, like go to a nice dinner, like read a book, like work on my art, you know. And it's like people just like have somehow this became a thing with people where it's like, oh, if I have any amount of free time, I'm just gonna sit there and watch this box and get programs, and it's depressing.
And we talked about that, right? Television, the words programming, you know, it's all subliminal. You know, okay, for those that by the way, say hello to Blake and Brent Cousins. Sorry, you were talking, I didn't interrupt you, but they put that little buttons down there. So hi guys.
Hey guys.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, tell a vision. You're telling a vision, and you're doing it through broadcasting. You're casting like a spell.
Mm-hmm.
So and they're done on certain frequency ranges. And you understand this, Apolla, because you play in 441 or the tuning that you do.
432 hertz.
432 hertz. Sorry. Yes, I said 441. My bad. You know, that right there, that's science. And that's the way music was forever. And, you know, until America came along, we're like, we're going to fuck it up. You know, we're going to.
That was actually the prime minister of propaganda from the Nazi regime. Joseph Goebbels is the one who changed that.
And did you know Goebbels, his family lineage, they're the ones that are in charge of the what's it called? The vaccine card. Did you know that?
No way. Are you kidding me right
Joseph
now?
Goebbels' family.
Isn't he dead?
Today. He's dead. I'm saying he's like grandkids and stuff. They're the ones that are working with the
Don't say, be careful what words you say. I don't want my show taken down. Oh, sorry, go on.
They're the ones that were putting together the card. And you know, yeah. Did you know that IBM was the first computer? And it was used to give the Jews their numbers on their arm. A lot of people don't know that.
No way.
The first IBM computer.
Oh my God.
To tag all the Jews in the camps. So yeah, a lot of these companies have their hands in the dark jelly bean bowl, you might say. I'm sorry. I know I shouldn't be eating, but you're so damn good. I haven't had jelly beans in years.
It's like they only want to take these sort of technologies out if they're using it for nefarious purposes, but they're not like, hey, we have this technology, we'll use this to like, I don't know, like make all cars run on free energy or something like that. You know, it's messed up. And they have these technologies, and then they turn around and say that we're all the problem, that, you know, global warming or whatever, climate change is happening. And it's like, okay, well then just release these technologies. You don't want to release them, you know, and then they make us believe like we're the problem.
Well, because, you know, like the weather technology with HARP and all that, these hurricanes that they've created. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, our governments do control weather. It's called weather manipulation, and there will be weather wars. And they have done it. They've used it to create hurricanes and typhoons or tornadoes on foreign countries to, you know, knock out stuff. So it's very, very real. And it's you know, science, heating up the ionosphere, you know, with high intensity beams, you know, look it up. So yes, it's very, very real. And they do it because, you know, why do they not give us that technology? Well, because if they control it, they can manipulate their agenda. Let's say one of the members of the New World Order is one of the owners of the many large insurance companies, right? Well, or not insurance companies, that's a bad thing because they're putting out money. If someone had money on something, they could literally take out a business with a tornado or a hurricane, with weather modification or manipulation. And it is a very, very real thing. And, all these fires. Oh, shit. Can I talk about that? Or you want me to hold back on that?
The fires?
Yeah. And how they start.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying like certain words that you probably know aren't okay. Like just try to say them in a different way.
Yeah. When we talk, I forget that we're talking to, however many people are watching. I just think it's just you and me. So I apologize.
Yeah.
But no, I don't know what to say. Throwing around
You're talking
my
about
words.
the fires. You're talking about the directed energy weapons.
Do weapons, yeah, direct energy weapons. And it's very real. It's been caught on camera. It's been caught by police helicopters, and that's all a part of it too. Because up north area of Cali, where they had all those fires last year, that was land that this company wanted to put a speed rail, train track thing, through their speed rail, and people wouldn't sell their properties. So if you got people in the mountains, you want them there, what do you do? We've all seen the gangster movies. There's actually a new one called ASA on Netflix, just came out, and it's got the Batgirl, the girl that played Batgirl for a year or two. Actually kind of cute anyway, she's in it, and it starts off where they go through towns and they're just taking out people in towns because they're not selling their land for the oil pipeline. I mean, that stuff's real. That goes on all the time, and we see it in these movies. And what's crazy is movies are basically soft disclosure. If you didn't realize that.
Yeah.
And we
it's like it's part of their like psychology with some of these cults, like especially like Luciferianism. I believe one of the rules as the religion, like one of the I don't know, it's like a rule or commandment, whatever you call it, but one of them is that if they are doing something, they have to say what they're doing. Like if they're like doing some sort of agenda, they have to like tell people they're doing it. So I really feel that's like a major part of it.
That is, it's ungentlemanly.
But then also it's like a self-fulfilled prophecy. Like if they put it in the consciousness of the collective and all these people watch it, then that's put into the collective. That's something it will end up being manifested if enough people see it. Right.
It can. And that is so true. And they totally abuse that. I was mentioning the power of radio earlier. It's the same thing. I was working at 106.7 FM in Orlando back in 93, 494 with the Just Plain Mark show. And we were talking about the power of radio. He goes, okay, watch. He goes, now there's certain things I can't say on the radio because that's illegal. We can't do that, right? But watch. So we get a call, and I'm like, XL 106.7. And they're like, hi, can you play this song? And I'm like, yeah, we can do that. And it's a bunch of kids, calling in around 7, 8 o'clock at night. And this was back in 93, by the way. Okay, so I think statute of limitations has run out. So they call, and I'm like, oh, yeah, we'll play that. Hey, by the way, you know who John Paul Glosser is? Oh, my God, Zach from that bell. Oh, my God, he's so handsome. Yeah, did you hear he died? Now, we're doing this over the phone, mind you, not on the radio. They call in, we answer, we're having a conversation. I say that. And they're like, oh, my God, really? Like, oh, yeah, it's really sad. It's really sad. Now, I'm also like 20 and dumb when I did this. So we're talking about this. And they're like, oh, my God, this is so sad. And I do this 2 or 3 times. Within 45 minutes, now anything that comes in on a call at a radio station, you can record it and air it as long as it doesn't have curse words or it's really, really, really bad, right? So we record all the calls as they come in. Within 30, 45 minutes, we are getting swamped by phone calls. Oh my God, dude, Zach from Saved by the Bell, he's dead, dude, you hear? Like, no, what happened? He got run over by a steamroller. And then another one's like, yeah, his mom killed him in the kitchen with a knife. So just by doing that little thing, it planted a seed and it blew up in Orlando, of all places, not a small town. So we cleared it up later. But what I'm saying is, they know that. They know how we take information and we get, then we got to tell somebody else. They know we're going to do part of the work for them. So when they say life is like a chessboard and we're a pawn, it's really true. So, man, I'm babbling. I don't even know where I'm going anymore. I'm just kind of going off. I get to a point where I'm like, I passed the exit. Shit.
It's okay. You know, I've been going on for almost 2 hours now. So, I mean, do you want to wrap this up?
Yeah, we can do that.
All right.
Oh, you want to wrap it up?
Okay, well, you know, like I was saying, everyone, please make sure you go and check out the DisclosureCon website and come join us because it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
This lineup, by the way, is really incredible. If you don't know these people, I mean, you got to come see them because this is a really awesome lineup. Like, I am so excited to see all these people.
Yeah.
Also, if you want to support me, is this showing? Hold on, let me see. Oh, hold on a second. You want to support me and keep this show going, please check out my art, Shaman Spears, which are uniquely handcrafted energy chilling devices, which I invented myself. And I do next day shipping on all orders.
Really? Next day?
Yeah, I ship out the next day.
Holy crap.
I have my own label system. I have these really awesome feather headdresses up right now, and I believe in human t-shirts.
That is cool. I want one of those.
Oh yeah,
I believe in humans. That's kind of cool. I dig that. What's the box logo? What's the box logo at the bottom?
Oh, so that's my friend actually designs these. So I kind of partnered with him, and so there's a thing on the side. Actually, let me pull it up here. So I have one right here, actually. Where'd it go?
Oh, I love your chair. It's dynamite. Your chair.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
But yeah, it says 1 of 30 on the side. So there's only 30 of them made, and then once these are all gone, I'll design a new one. But,
that's cool.
But it's actually really great fabric, like amazing material, and it has the show logo on the back. So it's the first one ever for my YouTube show. So,
well, are you gonna autograph
maybe
them?
Worth a lot later. My Shaman spears are all autographed. So if you want my autograph, you just buy a spear, and that's how you get around. A lot of people ask me like, "Hey, can you send me an autograph signed picture?" And I'm like, "Just buy a spear."
Yeah. But definitely buy a spear. Always a pleasure hanging out with you. I always love talking with you. It's so much fun.
Yeah, it was great hanging out with you too. I had a good time.
Yeah, and I'll see you in less than a month.
Yeah, actually, definitely.
1 month from today will be the beginning of the show. So.
Oh no way!
I know, I'm freaking out. I know.
Wait, what day? So I have to be there the day before the event starts, right? Or 2 days before to like have fun.
Yeah.
So what day am I supposed to be there? I should ask your admin show, but I just asked
Thursday night. Get you into the cabin.
Is that like the date? What date is that?
The hold on.
Like the 28th or something like that?
No, you'll be here on the 30th, which is a Thursday, and then Friday the 1st is our play day with everybody. Yes, folks, if you speak at my event, I spoil the shit out of you.
What?
I spoil the hell out of you guys.
Oh yeah, definitely. I had a great time last year.
Well, this year we're gonna do activities. We're gonna have actually a day of activities just for us, because I want my speakers to not just come up here, check in the hotel, do the event, check out the hotel, and leave. I don't want that. I want you guys to come, embrace the mountain, take deep breaths with fresh air from the pine trees, ride a horse, shoot a gun, drive a go-kart.
We're gonna shoot guns?
Yeah, if you want. Yeah,
I'm down.
We're gonna. It's at one of the local shooting places here, and you walk in, and it's walls and walls of all the coolest guns you could think of, and you just say, "I want to shoot that one. I want to shoot that one. I want to shoot this one."
Whenever I go to those kind of places, I like to do the little like Wild West ones with the little revolvers.
Yeah,
I don't know why. I just
they probably have those too, but yeah, they've got a lot of cool stuff, and they offered to give us the whole range basically, so everybody can have an aisle to be in and blast away. So, and then we have possible, it depends on the group. When the group gets together, we'll talk about it,
Yeah.
the next day to see, who wants to do what. So you guys can also relax, sit out by the lake, do a little reading, maybe do
I never saw the lake 2 years ago. I never went near it. Was that by the cabins?
Not the cabins you were at. The cabins you're going to be at this year. Yes, you're literally everybody's on the lake. I got everybody.
We're going to be at a different kind of cabin? They're right on the. Oh, no way. That sounds awesome.
Yeah. And one of them is a huge house. So that'll kind of be like our area where we'll come together. And that's got like a dock and a big patio over the lake. And yeah, I'm spoiling the hell out of you guys this year.
Awesome.
So yes, everybody. October 2nd, 3rd, the Honda Casino Resort in Pine Top, Arizona. Tickets and VIP passes are on sale. Suggest the VIP pass. It'll be totally worth it. And it will be limited tickets and seating. So don't procrastinate. This month's going to go by extremely fast. And it will be here before you know it.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for coming on, Doc. It was great speaking with you as always. And I'll see you at the end of the month.
All right, sweetie. Thanks.
Thanks, everyone, for joining this latest episode of Apolla's Odyssey. And catch me next Tuesday. I believe Tuesday, that'll be the 7th. So that'll be, I believe, so that'll be my first day with KGRA. So I actually might not be on here that day. I'll let you guys know. And I'll definitely be on here next Wednesday. And that will be my first day with Aftermath. So that's going to be pretty awesome. So stay tuned, you guys. We're doing a lot with this show. So until next time on Apolla's Odyssey, over and out.